According to a shocking new report from Rolling Stone reporter Tim Dickinson, in Portland, Oregon, the local ICE facility, which sits only half a block away from a school, has been using so much tear gas, so many pepper pellets, and other forms of chemical warfare against protesters that school that sits half a block away from the ICE facility in Portland has had to close down. They have been operating in that area, in that building, in their school. That has been their home for years and years and years and years. And this year, as the academic year was approaching, because of the toxicity of the air, so much tear gas, so many, pepper sprays, all of that carries. And it coated the school. It coated their little garden that they have. It's an edible garden that the students use to get food. But it was all covered in these toxic chemicals that ICE was spraying like a water hose all over protesters this entire summer. And because of that, the school had to move. They have abandoned that building, and they've now, luckily they were able to find a middle school that recently became abandoned, and they've moved in there, so they're not going to miss a beat. But that's beside the point, folks. According to Dickinson, this little local ICE office in Portland, Oregon, has used so many chemical weapons against protesters that they actually, here it is, the city's own police have been so trigger-happy firing chemical munitions against protesters that the Bureau got written up by war crimes investigators. And it's also worth reminding every single person watching this out there that you can't use tear gas in war. That's a war crime. So what we're using on the streets of the United States against our own people who are exercising their constitutional rights, it's illegal to do that when you're fighting a war. Like, if we had encountered Osama bin Laden and fired tear gas in there, that would have been a war crime. But if you fire tear gas at a group of people sitting in a circle holding picket signs, hey, that's totally okay. Like, we can do it to our own people, but we couldn't have done it to Osama bin Laden. I just want to point that out of how ridiculous it is that we do it to our people. But we're not even allowed to do it elsewhere because it is so dangerous, because it can be so toxic. And now a school has had to relocate because it's everywhere. See, those gases obviously contain solid particles. So when it is dispersed, it doesn't just float up into the atmosphere and disappear. All those particles inside that gas have to go somewhere. They will either settle on the ground or, of course, be inhaled by the protesters. But those that are not inhaled can settle on the ground. They can stick to buildings. They can land all over lawns and homes and windows and in your door and through your air conditioning systems, folks. They have to go somewhere. And when you're out there gassing everybody, there's a lot of gas. And that's a lot more gas that has to go somewhere. This is sickening that this is happening on the streets of the United States. It's sickening to me that this was the first time I have heard about it. I mean, thank God Tim Dickinson wrote this article. Otherwise, this would be, unfortunately, one of those things where most of us don't even know it's happening. We would have no clue unless, of course, you live in Portland. This should be bigger news. Everybody needs to talk about this. Everybody needs to share it. The link to the article that Dickinson wrote, by the way, is in the description of this video. Please go and share it. Do that. Spread the word that this is what we are doing to our own citizens whose only crime is executing their constitutional rights.